Okay guys, the cool thing about this half cut cork is that with the string you can actually manipulate it in there, and this is going to act as a friction hold for our string. So rather than having to adjust this string while tying it up, we can just slide it up or pull it back down, and that's going to make everything a lot easier. Okay. Okay guys, so this is what our setup is generally going to look like. We're going to have our cork, which has the string threaded halfway through it. We're going to have our retort stand with our boss clamp, and we're going to put that cork in between that boss clamp, and that boss clamp is actually going to add a force and increase that friction, making that string almost impossible to fall out. Okay, now just a quick reminder, you're doing 3 different experiments and they're going to be divvied up into the class. One group is going to be measuring to see how the string length affects the pendulum's period. Another group is going to be dealing with the different masses and seeing whether there is a relationship with how adding mass to the actual pendulum affects the period. And the other group will be dealing with the angle of release and seeing how that affects the period. And I will show that in a second. So once you got your string length to the desired length that you wanted, you can move the other string to the back. Make sure you've measured that string length from the bottom of the cork to the tip of the string. Yeah. And get that length. Make sure you add a little bit of tension on that string, you stretch it out. Just keep conscious about what variables you have to keep controlled. So either way, you're going to require a protractor in all of them to make sure you're either changing the angle gradually or you're keeping the angle constant with each movement. And you can see now that I've put that protractor there and it's in line with that string dangling down, so it's at 90 degrees. Now, important thing here is you're not dealing with 90 degrees. You're going to treat that 90 value as 0, right? So you know that it goes in each direction by 10 degrees, so make sure you adjust accordingly. So this right here, that would be an angle of 90 degrees, right? Moving down, you can see we've done a loop and we've connected our mass to that loop. Now everything seems in place. I got my string held in place by friction, so that's not going to go. The next thing I have to do is figure out what angle I'm supposed to keep this constant or increase it. Here I'm just gonna focus on increasing the length of the string, and I'm just going to move this 10 degrees and I'll let it go. Now you will have partners and this will be more accurate, but make sure you're always releasing that pendulum in that plane, in that back and forth plane. You don't want any side to side movement. You want it just to follow and track the path that string hangs down. And what you're going to do is, in order to increase our reliability, we're going to do something on how we count these these oscillations or these periods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of it at the fixed angle, or the angle that I'm changing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it oscillate 10 times. So one oscillation is it going there and coming back, right? So I'm going to do 10 of those, and I'm going to time them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide those 10 oscillations, the time it took for those 10 oscillations, divide that by the amount of times it oscillated, which is 10, and then that's going to give me an average period. Because getting one exact period where it goes from there and back, it's very hard to do precisely. So let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now this is effectively one reading, so I'll divide that by 10. What I can do there, that's just one trial. I have to repeat this another 3 to 5 times, and then get the average of that to see what that period was for either whatever independent variable you're investigating, whether it was mass, angle release, or the change in string length.